Right. Welcome to Colossal Cave Adventure. So this is the original text adventure, as it were. I seem to remember hearing or reading or being told years ago that Colossal Cave was the first text adventure. Apparently that isn't thought to be the case anymore. I think there was... Incidentally, Colossal Cave came out in 1976. Apparently in 1974, now there's thought to be an earlier text adventure, I think by the name of Wander. I don't know if my original source, that Colossal Cave was the first, was just wrong, or if this has been discovered more recently, but it is worth bearing in mind that whatever the first text adventure was, Colossal Cave has certainly been credited as being the ancestor of text adventures for a very long time, meaning it was at least the most influential early text adventure. Any earlier text adventures obviously weren't as influential. They didn't go on to leave as much of an impression as this game has. And I thought it would be very interesting to give this a go. The network seems to be not very good. I'm sorry to hear that, Jenny. If anyone else has any trouble on my end, then as in watching the stream, if anyone else has any trouble with the network, let me know, because that would suggest it's a problem on my end and not Jenny's. But I'm sorry to hear that, Jenny. Anywho, so I thought we'd finish up with a playthrough of Colossal Cave with hints. And I did find hints, not just a walkthrough for Colossal Cave, so there's that. Which is nice. Because I do prefer to play with hints, if the option is available. There we go. And this wasn't even on UHS Hints. This is someone else's website. It says rickadams.org/d_hints/index.html. Colossal Cave Hints. This was obviously only 4 years earlier. And I think this was non-commercial. I could be wrong. It's possible they were selling Colossal Cave. I've got a feeling this game may have just been something that, well, it says here, Willie Crowther, I'll assume that's right, just wrote and released as a computer program because they enjoyed it, I thought. I could be wrong. So within 4 years, Sierra were clearly releasing commercial text adventures. Original development by Willie Crowther. Major features added by Don Woods. Conversion to BDSC by J.R. Jager. Unix standardization by Jerry D. Pole. Port to QNX4 and bug fixes by James Lamel. I'm probably mispronouncing some of their names, unfortunately. Somewhere nearby is Colossal Cave, where others have found fortunes in treasure and gold, though it is rumoured that some who enter are never seen again. Magic is said to work in the cave. I will be your eyes and hands. Direct me with commands of 1 or 2 words. Oh, again 1 or 2 words. I should warn you that I look at only the first 5 letters of each word, so you'll have to enter northeast as NE to distinguish from north. Type help and info if you need more help. Okay, that's a fairly significant limitation. You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully. Enter building. Bad grammar. Okay. Enter... Well, it's called a building, isn't it? Examine building? Bad grammar. Enter. You're inside a building, a well house for a large spring. There are some keys on the ground here. There is a shiny brass lamp nearby. There's tasty food here. There is a bottle of water here. Inventory. You're not carrying anything. Take all. I don't know that word. Take everything. I don't know that word. Okay, take keys. So this is even more primitive than the Wizard and the Princess engine was, and I found that one quite clunky to use. Take keys. Take lamp. Take food. Take water. Look. You're inside a building, a well house for a large spring. I'm not sure what a well house is, actually, now I think about it. I mean, I know what a well is. Rob, the network is very unstable. I could barely see what you're doing. I'm sorry. There's not a lot I can do, though, I'm afraid. A small building that houses a well. Okay, that's fairly straightforward then. Leave? You're at the end of the road again, look. You're standing at the end of the road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully. We should probably start with a map. That's usually a good idea. Okay, so we're at the end of a road. Can I go north? Can I go south? Okay, I think I'm stuck. I'm starting to worry this is going to be non-Euclidean again. Okay, I found my way back to the end of the road. So north was the forest, was it? South is the valley. East is inside the building. Right, building is to the east. That's good information. So valley is to the south. Forest is to the north. What about west? You've walked up a hill and still in the forest. The road slopes back down the other side of the hill. There is a building in the distance. Okay. So we're at a hill. There's no way to go that direction. South. You're in a forest. North. Again, and the forest is... Okay, if I keep going north from the forest, I usually end up back at the road. Is that what that means? Yes. So if I go from the outside, from the end of the road north, I end up in the forest. If I keep going north, I end up back at the end of the road. Which I think you'll agree is a little unusual. North, 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 and then back round. Well, I've noted that. Okay, it should have been 4 times, not 3 times. It says 4 forest scenes, it would appear. Fair enough. Okay. So if I go west, I end up at the hill. You're at a hill in road. That's interesting English. North. North takes me back. North or east takes me back to the end of the road. And south takes me to the forest. That's a little confusing. Okay. West, south, north, 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 north. Okay, so south takes me to the same bit of forest that going north from the end of the road would take me to. Curious. Alright, south. You're in a valley. You're in a valley in the forest beside a stream tumbling along a bed. At your feet, all the water of the stream splashes into a 2-inch slit in the rock. Downstream, the stream bed is bare rock. Examine rock. Okay, examine. Set into the dirt is a strong steel grate mounted in concrete. A dry steam bed leads into the depression. Why is the stream bed suddenly dry? That's odd. Still, I'm making a note of that. There's a grate here. Examine grate. Look grate. I guess I can't get more information. Open grate. The grate is now unlocked. Enter grate. You're in a small chamber beneath a 3x3 steel grate to the surface. A low crawl over cobbles leads inwards to the west. Up. You're outside the grate. Alright. Can I go south anymore? You're in the forest. So the forest seems to be, as far as I can tell, just a special, like, maze that you'll occasionally get effectively teleported to. That seems to be exactly how it's behaving. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Alright, we should probably try... Oh, going east there takes me to the... grate. Alright. Sorry, it takes me to the valley, I meant to say. I can go south all I want. I have a hypothesis for what's going on here. Hard to test. Hang on, let me check something. You're in a forest. You're in a forest. You're in a forest. You're at the end of the road. So it is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, It's random. You're in a forest. Hang on. Right, I think I understand what's going on. Hang on. Let me double check this. Yes. Right. I think what's going on is when you're in any given location, it will have exits in certain directions. I think when you try to leave the forest to any direction that other than north or east, it takes you back into the forest. If you try and move to the east, so it becomes an infinite loop, you can never leave that way, but you'd never get farther away either. If you try and leave to the east, I think it takes you to the valley. And I believe that exiting to the north leads to a random roll. And with a probability of about 1 in 3, it will take you to the end of the road. Otherwise, it'll put you back into the forest. And I think whenever the game decides you've gone off the track it wants you to go down, it just takes you to the forest. Now, I don't think that's any special coding or anything. I think it is literally just the developer made it so that lots of locations link back to the forest. What if I'm right? What this explanation would mean is that there is only one forest location. When it says you're in a forest, you're in forest, that is one location. It can be reached from lots of other locations and indeed itself. But there is in fact only one forest. Or more specifically, only one one in-game location which is called forest. Can I save? Yes. I didn't have the effect I expected it to, though. I'm just wondering, does this have any... Can I get soft locked? Can I die? North, east, south, west. It has to be west. You're crawling over cobbles in a low passage. There is a dim light at the east end of the passage. There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby. Take cage. It's now pitch dark. If you proceed, you will likely fall into a pit. Use a lamp. What? I have a lamp, don't I? I have set of keys. Brass lantern. Oh, lantern then. Use lantern. I don't understand that. Light lantern? The lamp is now on. You're in a debris room filled with stuff washed in from the surface. A wide passage with cobbles becomes plugged with mud and debris here. But an awkward canyon leads upwards and west. A note on the wall says, magic word Zizzy. We should probably find out what that does. A 3-foot black rod with a rusty star on the end lies nearby. Take rod. Zizzy. You're inside building. You're in debris room. Oh, so it's a two-way teleport. Okay. Let's delve a little deeper. If I go west, and now I use it again, do I end up back in the debris room or do I end up back in the building? Nothing happens. Oh. Then it's more like a shortcut. That would have been useful to know when I started the game, but it's probably not any use to us now. Unless it works in other locations, I guess it could link other locations in pairs. You're in a splendid chamber 30 feet high. The walls are frozen rivers of orange stone. An awkward canyon and a good passage exit from east and west sides of the chamber. A cheerful little bird is sitting here singing. Use cage? Cage bird. Bad grammar. Oh, because you think I'm using a noun. Take bird. The bird was unafraid when you entered, but as you approach it becomes disturbed and you cannot catch it. Oh dear, poor bird. Do I have anything to... bait cage? I mean, bait it with the food. Give food. Drop cage. I want to say like put food in cage, but I know that it's only going to accept at most 2 words. Take cage. Hey Alexei. Lovely to see you. There are we full circle back to AI games. This isn't an AI game. How are you anyway? Examine food. Didn't work. I'm good. If someone sees this, I bet they would think AI. Odd. I'm not sure why, but okay. Examine bird. Look bird. Open cage. It has no lock. Close cage. It has no lock. Well, you can open and close things without them being locked. So many people use I in the present day, all these long prompts. I'm sure we're supposed to grab this bird, I'm just not sure how to do it. Sing? Okay. Put food in cage. I don't know that word. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't like that. Is it put you don't like? Cage. What do you want to do with the cage? Food. What do you want to do with the food? Place food. Alright, west. At your feet is a small pit, breathing traces of white mist. An east passage ends here except for a small crack leading on. Rough stone steps lead down the pit. The crack is far too small for you to follow. There is no way to go that direction. Alright, down. There's no way to go that direction. Wait. What do you mean by rough stone steps lead to the pit then? Go pit. Look. Well, that's not supposed to be happening. That is clearly bugged. Oh, that's a disappointment. At least it's saved. Right, look is clearly broken on that. Did I go down? Oh, I think when it restored, it put me at the bottom of the pit. I think. You're at one end of a vast hall stretching forward out of sight to the west. There are openings to either side. Nearby, a wide stone staircase leads down. The hall is filled with wisps of white smoke swaying to and fro, almost as if alive. A cold wind blows up the staircase. There is a passage at the top of the dome behind you. Are we supposed to see images from this game? No. 1976. One of the earliest text adventures. But I thought this would be a fun one since it is such a classic. And I've never actually played it. Well, I played bits of it. I don't think I've got farther than this before, though. So we can still go down. You're in a hall of the Mountain King, with passages off in all directions. A huge green fierce snake bars the way. What can I do about a snake? Set of keys, brass lantern, wicker cage, black rod, tasty food, small bottle, water in the bottle. Are you on caffeine or sugar? Neither. Any particular reason you ask? Right, so it's trying to go west again that confuses it. Right, so if I go west, I need to go north. Looks like it. Well, this game is the reason, but as long as you enjoy it, it's fine. I'm not sure I follow the connection between caffeine and sugar. Use key? I'm wondering if we put the keys in the slit in the stream bed. I suppose the question is, how long do I go before I look up hints? I wish I could get descriptions of the inventory items. Maybe I can. The rod scares the bird. The objects have side effects. For instance, the rod scares the bird. Usually people having trouble moving just need to try a few more words. Usually people trying unsuccessfully to manipulate an object or attempting something beyond their or my capabilities should try a completely different tact. To speed up the game, you can sometimes move long distance with a single word. For example, building usually gets to the building from anywhere above ground except when lost in the forest. Also know that cave passages turn a lot, and that leaving a room to the north does not guarantee entering the next room from the south. Good luck. You know, someone said once that comedians are drug dealers who get paid to send you drugs to your brain. Interesting. To see how well you're doing, so score to get full credit for a treasure, you must have left it safely in the wellhouse building. You get partial credit just for locating it. You lose points for getting killed or for quitting, though former costs you more. There are also points based on how much, if any, of the cave you've managed to explore. In particular, there is a large bonus just for getting in to distinguish the beginners from the rest of the pack, and there are other ways to determine whether you've been through some of the more harrowing sections. If you think you found all the treasures, just keep exploring for a while. If nothing interesting happens, you haven't found them all yet. If something interesting does happen, it means you're getting a bonus and have an opportunity to garner many more points in the master section. I may occasionally offer hints in you seem to be having trouble. That should be if you seem to be having trouble. If I do, I'll warn you in advance how accepting hints will affect your score. Use rod. I don't know that word. Scare bird? What do you want to do with the rod? Okay, I'm going to start looking up some hints now. Where's the cave entrance? I keep getting killed by a dwarf. That didn't happen to me. What's this about, Zizzy? How'd you catch the bird? That's a good hint. Well, the help file mentioned the bird is afraid of the rod, so keep that in mind. If you have the rod in your possession, you won't be able to get near the bird. Right, I'm not used to games working that way, but that makes sense. Drop rod. East. Take bird. Okay, we've got the bird. Take rod. Do I have the bird as well? Little bird in a cage, I do. Okay, that's progress. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Okay, I can go west. You're on an east bank of a fissure slicing clear across the hall. The mist is quite thick here and the fissure is too wide to jump. I don't know. Down. How do I get past the snake? Throw the bird at it. Of course you have to catch the bird first. Oh, okay. I was wondering about feeding the bird to the snake, but I wasn't convinced. The little bird attacks the green snake and in an astounding flurry drives the snake away. Well, hey! I'm a little disappointed I didn't try that now. Passages in all directions, eh? Interesting. North, I guess. You're in a low north-south passage at a hole in the floor. The hole goes down to an EW passage. Take. You can't carry anything more. I didn't realise this. Inventory. Alright, we'll have to remember that this is here. We said east. Oh, hang on. You're in a lone north-south passage. So I can go east or west. Down. Ah. You're in a dirty, broken passage. To the east is a crawl. To the west is a large passage. Above you is another passage. Okay. You're on the brink of a small, clean, climbable pit. Up? There's no way to go that direction. East? West. Okay. Any opinion on the game Dispatch? I'm not familiar with it. What's Dispatch then? You're in a large room full of dusty rocks. There's a big hole in the floor. There are cracks everywhere and a passage leading east. You're at a complex junction. A low hand and east passage from the north joins a higher crawl from the east to make a walking passage down west. There's also a large room above. The air is damp here. Blimey. There's an enormous clam here with its shell tightly closed. Take clam. You can't carry anything more. Right. South. West. You're in bed quilt. What's bed quilt? A long east-west passage with holes everywhere. To explore at random, select north, south, up or down. You're in an ante-room leading to a large passage to the east. Small passages go west and up. The remnants of a recent digging are evidence. A sign in mid-air here says, cave under construction beyond this point. Proceed at your own risk. Which construction company? There are a few recent issues of Spelunker Today magazine. Take magazine. Oh, Examine magazine. Okay. How do I get in here? West to go back? Up? Okay, I'm clearly a bit lost. A little dwarf just walked around the corner, saw you, threw a little axe at you, which missed, cursed and ran away. I mean, I'd love the axe, but I'm lost. I'm completely lost. Velvet pillow? You're at the east end of the two-pit room. The floor here is littered with thin rock slabs which make it easy to descend the pits. There is a path here bypassing the pits to connect passages from east and west. The holes are all over, but only bit 1 is on the wall directly over the west pit, where you can't get at it. I can't teleport back either. Dispatch is an episodic adventure game developed and published by Ad Hoc Studio. The game consists of 8 episodes that were released on PlayStation 5 and Windows throughout October and November 2025. Oh, I see. I'm actually slightly concerned now that possibly someone did tell me about it and I just forgot. You did. You told me about it. I apologise. Yes, can't say I've looked into it. There's really good reviews all across the board. Well, worth a look then. Building? I don't know how to apply that word here. Oh dear. We're really stuck. This is the Oriental Room. Ancient Oriental cave drawings cover the walls. A gentle sloping passage leads upward to the north. Another passage leads southeast, and a hands and knees crawl leads west. There is a delicate, precious Ming vase here. Oh, I'm gonna have to drop something for the Ming vase, aren't I? Or should I? We really should come back for it, really. North. You're following a wide path around the outer edge of a large cavern. Far below, through a heavy white mist, strange splashing noises can be heard. The mist rises up through a fissure in the ceiling. The path exits to the south and west. One sharp, nasty knife is thrown at you. It misses! You're in an alcove. The small northwest path seems to widen after a short distance. An extremely tight tunnel leads east. Looks like a very tight squeeze. An eerie light can be seen at the other end. I've got a sneaking suspicion we're not going to be finishing this game today. Actually, do you know what? I've just noticed my viewership has gone down to 1. Oh dear. How about we do a spot of Elden Ring then? For a little while.